We bike. Gang, 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 gang.
What's good, everybody? Sure. It is officially February. Happy Black History Month, everybody. What's good? What's good?
Yes, sir.
What's
Happy
good?
February to you. Happy Black History Month to you.
It's in the air, man. One of the best times of the month, even though it is the shortest. It is what it is. You know, we're going to turn up. We got a bunch of, we still celebrating Black. If you think about everything that goes on in February, we still celebrate Black people in a way. You know what I'm saying? You know, with most Black people in the NBA All-Star game, most people, well, I need to look up the stats, but I think it's more Black people than white people in the NFL. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm pretty sure that's the case.
I think it's like 60% almost, if I'm not mistaken.
Cool. There we go. Appreciate that. We got the Grammys, of course. Whether we boycott it or not, music would be absolutely nothing without the help and contribution of Black people. So we're going to continue to celebrate Black history on this podcast, especially Black sports. So speaking of, let's get into it again, everybody. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Let's Be Real Sports Podcast, presented by Let's Be Real Media. Watch us live on YouTube and Twitter, and follow us on TikTok and Instagram at LBR_media. Also, subscribe to us on any podcasting platform.
What's going on? BLJ here, the best hype man in the NBA. Man, I'm here with Let's Be Real. Tune in. Hello.
Let's Be Real podcast. I am the host, Tab Shakir, with my guys, Simple Trev, the Art of Trevor. What's going on, my brother?
What's good, everybody, man? Like I said before, happy Black History Month, man. It's about to be up this month. Of course, I hate it's the shortest month, but actually, no, we get an extra day this year because
we do.
We do. So, what's good, everybody?
We do. And of course, at the bottom, we got my guy, Lito. Scholar, what's good?
What's going on? Let go. Man, let go, man. I'm in my feelings. You know, we talked about, swag surfing. We talked about whatever that white lady's name is, and she already ain't starting, helping the Black History Month start off on the right way it needs to be. So for whatever reason, she feels the need to.
We gotta get. We'll get into that later because that's definitely a year board. We'll get into that later.
I kind of want to get into it kind of now because so I had an epiphany over this last week, on how we can officially give swag surf to the white people, right? Like give it that final blessing, right? And I thought of a way to incorporate that actually into Usher's Super Bowl performance. Usher, I know you probably got that down pat, but listen to me. I've been DJing for 12 years. Watch exactly what I do, right? So let's say we just have the first 10 seconds of swag surf. We actually have I can't think of the gentleman's name, the guy's name that do the swag surf song. But we actually have them perform it, right, for like 10, 15 seconds. Next thing you know, it's already like a club scene, and you go straight into Love in His Club. Tell me that don't make sense. Tell me that, because you already in the club scene. Now you want to make love in the club, so you can start off with that. Jeezy can come out if you want to. And we officially say goodbye to flags at that point, and we show them how to do it on a major stage. And that's it. Y'all can have it.
I know I have an issue. I mean, it could work, but my issue lies with this because it actually came out because they gave the blessing to old girl to use the dang song. So you know how on Twitter where you see something outrageously tweet and it's toward the end of the month and someone responds that the rent was due. Well, apparently for the guys who came up with swag surf, rent must have been due because they needed that check bad apparently to let Taylor Swift officially use the swag surf. So I don't know, man. I guess.
I just want because that swag surf means so much to us, y'all. Like we gotta give it away. Like
we gotta let it go, man.
But see, here's my issue because it's a really good idea, but my concern is you put it on a stage that big, and it does nothing but intensify or amplify the amount of times that we are going to hear it even more, which then increases the amount of times we're going to see it being fucked up.
Wrong. Yeah,
I get that. But we know what swag surf meant in our college days, and even before then, we know the impact that it had on us. So in a final goodbye, because I agree 100,000% with you. We're gonna hear this shit everywhere, especially if and when the Chiefs win. But at the same time, it's like they done had it at Super Bowl. It meant a lot for us to even grow up on it. Y'all got it. It's like y'all got it, bro. It's already known at this point, but y'all got it. But to see it perform at the Super Bowl is like a final farewell for us and a hello to them. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm cool with it. There needs to be like a understood like, all right, here, you know, once the song finishes, or have something to say, okay, as white people, y'all can have the song. We done with it. Y'all, you know, do whatever you want to do with it. You've already messed it up. You've already messed it up for the culture. So here, have it. Bye. You know.
So we need somebody to make a rest in peace flyer for Swag Surf.
I told you
it died on the Super Bowl day. Oh man.
What's up, Sam? It was good.
It was good.
But, speaking of 3 the Hardaway, man, make sure y'all tap into the podcast networks, other podcasts. 3 the Hardaway. We'll be talking basketball tomorrow. We got the All-Star game coming up, as well as the trade deadline, which will be Thursday. And we actually gonna do a Thursday episode as well. So make sure y'all tap in. LBR Gaming, Simply Trevor, LBR, man, on YouTube. Got us locked in, man. We about to go crazy. We got to get a 5, man. Once we get a 5, it's a wrap.
Savage. Where are you?
Savage? Yeah, we see you in the comment. Bring your ass out. We know you got 2 kids, but the game is kind of starting to get more important, bro. Even though it's
it's fun, but it's there.
It's there. And of course, make sure you follow the game at LBR Media on Twix, Twitter, and X. Fellas, let's get to it. Of course, we had our football talk. But of course, we had the championship games last week. Of course, we want to hear y'all thoughts on why no one can beat Mahomes. I'm done betting. I'm literally done betting against Mahomes at this point. I tried with Lamar. I thought Lamar was going to be our black hope. I've tried it. I've failed numerous times, and I'm done at this point. I'm done at this point.
We're going to treat this like a meeting. I propose we readmit the commandment that thou shalt not pick against Patrick Mahomes.
There we go. Let's be Tom Brady. There we go.
It's crazy, and it's like, yeah, pretty much, Savage. Pretty much, that's what it is. I mean, and it seemed like every week, like the thing that was a problem for whatever the Chiefs' opponent was actually came to a head. Like in the game against the Bills, what got the Bills to that point was them being able to run the ball and Josh Allen not having to go for the home run ball so much to where it hurts the whole team. What ended up happening in that game, Josh Allen tried to go for the home run ball at the most inopportune time, and it ended up costing him. Of course, Tyler Bass missing the field goal as well played a role in that as well. With this game against the Ravens, I'm just gonna be honest with you, like there's a book out on Lamar Jackson, on how to stop Lamar Jackson. And the person that came up with that book, shout out to Brian Flores, because basically he said, we're gonna blitz Lamar Jackson, and we're just gonna have 2 safeties sitting up high, and we're gonna dare your receivers to get open. So it's just, once again, Lamar I wouldn't say he doesn't have quality receivers, because Zay Flowers is cool, but Zay Flowers is small. Like if Baltimore would have had a bigger receiver, someone like a maybe DK Metcalf, who they probably should have gone after, then this may have been different. The Chiefs probably still win, but the game is probably a little bit more prettier than what it actually was. But yeah, like Zay Flowers, he did his thing until, he got the taunting call, and then of course the fumble out of the end zone, and then we didn't see Odell until probably the 3rd quarter. And then ultimately they just got away from what worked for Baltimore, which was running the damn football. But kudos to the Chiefs, because they didn't really play a pretty game either. They just made the plays when they needed to be made. And Pat Mahomes was like, I'm not finna lose this game, so I know exactly what needs to be done. He made the timely throws when it needed to be made. And I said it last week, if the Chiefs got past this game, you might as well just give them the Super Bowl. We'll get to the Super Bowl picks next week, but Kansas City's back again. So kudos to them. And that commandment needs to be put back.
Yeah, bro. Again, I've been saying this since the postseason started. I'm not betting against Pat Mahomes. I don't care. I don't care how broke I'm going to be. I'd rather lose my money betting against him versus anybody else. And it's one of those that, like, it's because he's a student of the game, right? He knows time and situation throughout the entirety of the game, and where, you know, as Trevor talked about Josh Allen and we talked about Lamar Jackson, sometimes you see those quarterbacks press, right? You see them not necessarily take off and run the football when they're supposed to, or not take the check down when you're supposed to. And you see Pat Mahomes do that, not only just in this postseason, but you see that regular season, you see that in past postseasons. He knows exactly what he's supposed to do with the ball. And being real, again, we talked about this last week, the Ravens, in actuality, has the better team, right? Like, they have the better team. But when I know I got 15 on the other side, and I got, you know, Andy Reid on the sideline and things like that, I'm just going to trust that all day, every day. I'm going to trust that every day of the week. What you saw, the two biggest things that I saw from last week's game is, one, I don't understand why there were not more runs called for Baltimore, especially more quarterback runs. But I think also Ryan just said that, like, there's only 6 first attempts from the Ravens running back. But still, even within that, like, I want to see more of that from Lamar Jackson. But then again, like, I'm not like Trevor, like, there's a book out on everybody, right? But then with that blueprint, you got to have the right scheme, you got to have the right personnel to execute that. And so what I saw the Chiefs do is very similar to what I've seen the Steelers do, right? Like, people's like, oh, we hadn't seen, you know, nobody treat the Ravens like this. Well, you know,
Pittsburgh did, and been doing
Pittsburgh
it
did twice. And what Pittsburgh does every single time, Pittsburgh doesn't even play that much man, but there's going to be one team that the Steelers play man against every single year, and that's going to be the Ravens. You play man, Trevor, you talked about the 2 high safeties, but then you also you blitz with the understanding of, I cannot let him get outside of this pocket. And that's what you saw. Like, you saw earlier, you know, early in the game where he was able to break loose, but still they were able to contain it. You saw a spy here, you saw a spy there, or you saw a contained rush where maybe I'm rushing up the field, but I'm not letting you get outside of this pocket. And so then within that, you're making Lamar think a little bit more than he wants to do. And when you make a quarterback think a second longer, 2 seconds longer, then at that point you have the advantage, right? So it was really those two things that I saw. But again, at the end of the day, that Chiefs defense, which has not gotten a lot of credit, Steve Spagnuolo, who has been a really good coordinator for a very, very long time, is coaching his butt off, right? Like, I think I saw a stat where, like, the Chiefs DBs has had the best coverage statistically across the postseason this season. And when you have corners that can cover, when you have corners that when the ball's thrown their way, they're not panicking, they're not, like, you know, just jumping all over the receiver to avoid the touchdown. Like, they are legit playing sound football. I think they're worth having a lot of credit as well too. So yeah, I'm honestly not surprised that the Chiefs won, because, like I said, at the end of the day, when you got 15 and when you got Andy Reid on the other side, I'm going to bet and go with them every single time.
So let me ask y'all this, because y'all we've talked about, you know, and Brian brought it up, only 6 running tips from the Ravens, who's been dominant on the run all season. Is crazy. Like, that's their game. And you go against a Chiefs defense who y'all just talked about, top 3 in the league. And it does kind of seem like Lamar took the opportunity, and the Ravens took the opportunity to say, hey, I'm getting paid, number one, the big bucks, you know what I'm saying? But now it's like, I done heard all the quarterbacky comments, and I'm happy Savage actually commented. He was trying to prove himself for the pocket, because that's actually kind of what I believe in. Oh, y'all think I can't quarterback? Let me go ahead and beat the greatest quarterback in this, you know, game. And it took the Ravens off. And I'm looking at of course, the box score 17-7. You go in the half 17-7. So necessarily is your run game, which you've been dominated in. And this question for y'all as well as the football heads, is the run game necessarily going to help you overcome Patrick Mahomes going down 17-7 at the half?
Yeah,
the best way. Go ahead, Scott.
I think, again, part of that book, right, that's out there on Lamar Jackson is you got to get ahead. Like you have to make him and that offense throw the ball. And so when you're up 17-7, when you're up 2 scores, naturally you're going to stop running the football. But then again, like where I think Baltimore didn't prepare him or didn't put him in the right places is understanding, okay, we're down 17-7, but then I know, granted, it's Pat Mahomes and it's Andy Reid, but their offense is just not that good to the point where they didn't score. How many points did they score in the second half? 3? No. I think they didn't score anything in the second half. So
Just
I would have been of the mindset.
Yeah, it was literally just a field goal.
I would have been of the mindset, granted, I'm down 17-7, but I need to get Lamar Jackson in a rhythm. And getting him in a rhythm is running the football, quick throws and things like that. And so, yes, I understand that's what they wanted Lamar Jackson to do, which was I want to prove to you that I can beat you throwing the football. But in the AFC Championship game, that doesn't matter. A dub is all that you need. Regardless if you had 32 pass attempts or 5 pass attempts, a dub is all that it matters, right? And so I just feel like they put too much on it. They put too much of it on that to say, okay, we got to beat you throwing the ball. Like, you didn't have to do that, bro. Like, just run the football. You've already proven to America, you've proven to this country, you've proven to all the football heads that you can throw the football. So why take the opportunity to double down on that? You don't have to do that. We all know Lamar Jackson is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. He's one of the most talented. He's one of the most electrifying talents at that position that we've seen. I don't need you to prove to me that you can throw the football. I just want you to prove to me that you can win those type of football games and those type of situations. And yet again, he failed.
Savage said it perfectly right here, man. When you run the ball, you keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. That, I forgot who the OC is for the Ravens, but that was just a terrible play call, man. As Skyler always says it all the time, these coaches be overthinking too much. Like, do what got you to this point. It is just that simple. The fact that you was trying to beat them with the pass with small receivers who, let's just keep it honest, who couldn't get off, who couldn't really get open like that. I mean, say Flowers got open, occasionally, and then of course, like I said, Odell he had a showing late in the second half, but at that point, nobody was doing anything. It was just an all defensive game in the second half. Yeah, you just do what got you there. Like, we know what Lamar can do. We know what he can do with his arm. We know what he can do with his legs running the ball. So I just don't see why you just need to just go away from that. Like, if it doesn't work, then yeah, but it had shown for the entirety of the season, even in spurts in this game, that it actually worked. So why go away from that? It's still just mind-boggling to me. And the fact, I think Lamar threw the ball 50 times in this game. Me personally, if he's throwing it more than 35 times, you're playing into the defense's hands. Like, if I can keep him under 35 throws and have him, have a couple of rushes here and there, then I'm fine. But him throwing the ball 50 times, you're playing right into the defense's hands.
The casuals will say that, hey, Lamar Jackson, regardless of that, he got more yards than Patrick Mahomes, right? I mean, which is crazy to kind of think about. But of course, throwing the ball 50 times with it ain't your game. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
I want to ask y'all this, but I think I got my trolling off for the day, so I'll save that conversation. But 10 points is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, and I think you got to just try to maximize just being able to, I guess, score the ball, because at this point, that's the only way. If Patrick Mahomes were to lose, you just got to outscore him. There's no, we're gonna try to put a defense on him now. You got to just go out there.
And your QB has to be on point. The
QB
day, has to be on point. The OC has to have a hell of a game plan that's going to establish the run and keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. And the Ravens had all the tools to do it. They just chose, for whatever reason, not to do it.
And you know what's crazy about what you just said, Trevor? I think the Chiefs said that about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, right? Like, because you saw definitely those first 2 drives that the Chiefs had, 7-minute time, 7-minute time possession here, 8-minute time of possession here. Like, they were holding the ball, and I think they were saying just as much as we were saying, if you're the Ravens, keep Pat Mahomes on the sideline. The Chiefs did that with Lamar Jackson, right? And I think that was part of the game plan as well, too, is, I'm fine with sitting on the ball. I'm fine with running the ball here or I'm fine with letting the play clock melt as much as possible, because I don't want to have to deal with the talent that is Lamar Jackson for as long as if I can minimize how much he's on the field, then I'm going to do that.
Straight up, your quarterback is on point. You can't make one mistake. Yeah, especially when the Chiefs got a top 3 defense now. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be the thing going forward as well. Which
the only thing they don't have is a receiver, and they may get a receiver in the offseason.
Yeah, that's what it's summer for.
But how many years we gonna keep saying that? Like, Trevor, you're right. You're 100% right. But at some point, you gotta be. At some point, we've got to stop saying it. We've said that about the Ravens and Lamar Jackson for a very, very long time. I think Zay Flowers is a good talent. I think Mark Andrews is a good talent. I think Isaiah Likely is a good talent. And so were they not all like, top number 1 receiver? Well, I think Mark Andrews is when he's healthy. At some point, we got to stop saying it, right? At some point, you got to be able to say, I'm good enough with the weapons that I have, and I'll make it work, right? Like, you paid Odell that amount of money. I don't know the context as to why he was benched for that long, but I'd be damned if I'm paying a receiver that much money and he don't see snaps until the third or fourth quarter. That's just me.
Yeah,
that doesn't make
sense. I think they rushed Mark Andrews back as well. When
you didn't need him, in my opinion, you didn't.
Yeah, you really
Likely was killing.
Yeah.
Interesting, man. Interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely bring up my troll. Yeah, facts. Preaching. So I'm definitely gonna bring my troll, and I definitely got mine because I think there'll be a lot more where that came from, especially that game. But let's talk. Let's go into after our first letdown. We needed Detroit to hold it down for us. We needed to see at least a few black people in Vegas in the Super Bowl. We needed just a couple N-word moments. You know what I'm saying? But Vegas gone Vegas, and Vegas got all the rich white people coming to them. Of course, the 49ers beat the Lions. Fellas, what are your thoughts? Let's start with Lito.
This game and exactly what happened made me think about exactly the question that took asked last week, which was, I think you said something along the lines of, does Brock Purdy need to win this game to gain respect or something like that? And again, where he and his team struggled, where he and his team didn't look like the better team, he stepped up, bro. He stepped up and made throws that I was like, damn, that's an elite throw. But not even within that, bro. Like, to take off the amount of times that he did in the third and fourth quarter, I think he had 3 or 4 runs for first downs, which is exactly what Lamar Jackson should have done. I think just spoke volumes, bro. Like, I had already said, like, that man had already gained my respect to literally be the last pick of the draft, to lead your team to the NFC Championship last year, to then lead your team. Let's see, he double-digit comeback win against Detroit. Had a subpar game against Green Bay, but both of those games, he and the talent around him was enough to get them to the next game. And so he, in my opinion, he's done way more than he needs to do. He's gained my respect a whole lot. So definitely happy for the 49ers. I'm happy for Brock Purdy specifically because he's gotten a lot of slack over the past few weeks, few months, and pretty much all year. But to lead your team to the Super Bowl after leading them to the NFC Championship game last year speaks volume to me. Dan Campbell, in my opinion, that's a whole different type of conversation. That's a tough one. Me personally, if Skyler was coaching, I'm taking those 3 points. I'm taking those 3 points to at least tie the game up. But at the end of the day, like when you're 20 of 25 on the season, on 4th down and short, I think it's like 4th and 3 or less, and you're 20 of 25, I kind of can see where he's coming from, right? But very interesting game, very entertaining game. I won some money off of it because I said, yeah, San Francisco going to come back to what Tuk said. I kind of saw that coming. So yeah, I'll take that little piece of change.
All right. Well, I'll kind of take it from Detroit's side of things for this. Detroit did everything right in this game did everything right to win this game, as you saw with them jumping out to the lead that they jumped out to in the second half. I mean, at halftime. it was just unfortunate. Them going for it on 4th down, yeah, it's a little bit questionable. But again, to Skyler's point, when you're 20 of 25 going for it on 4th down when it's 4th and 3 and less, you tend to take your chances. And Dan Campbell had the right idea, and he was like, well, we've been able to move the ball against San Fran, so we're up 2 scores. So if we don't get it and San Fran at least scores, we still up by a touchdown and we get the ball back and we get to move the ball once again. The only thing that probably killed them was going for it on 4th down. You're throwing it to Josh Reynolds. And Ryan and Cap can attest that in any shape or form, you should not look to Josh Reynolds on 4th down for him to make a big play. Like, you should have found a way to get that ball to Amon St. Brown, who was destroying them the entire game, or Sam Laporta. And then also the fumble in their own side of the field by Jahmyr Gibbs, which was only his 2nd fumble of the season. So that was just unfortunate as well. At that point, the momentum swung all the way to San Fran on top of the catch that should have been intercepted by Brandon Ayuk. That was good concentration by him. At that point, all the momentum swung to San Fran, and at that point, they wasn't looking back. So it was not much Detroit could do, because when Detroit gets from behind, you're relying on Jared Goff, and I even said it last week. Jared Goff is not the guy that you want to lead a comeback and things of that nature. So kudos to Detroit. We both said last week about Brock Purdy, how he deserves your respect. He made timely throws. He made timely runs for first downs and things of that nature. And here we are. San Fran is in the Super Bowl. So there we go.
Yeah, and to add on to that, Josh Reynolds dropped two first downs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So, like, even if you want to put like some of the blame or a lot of the blame on Dan Campbell, if Josh Reynolds makes those first down catches, are we even in that? Are we even? I mean, like, you got to call us spade a spade.
He makes those 2 catches, the game's over. We're talking about Detroit.
If the game is not over, then that's more time that Detroit gets to sit on the ball, right? Like, that's just, those 2 drops were bad. And again, like, you look at the box score, Cuz had a solid game. I think he ended up having 2 touchdowns. Had well over 60, 75 yards, something like that. Like, he absolutely balled out, but I'd be damned. Those 2 drops was like, you could just tell, like, yeah, San Francisco going to come back. San Francisco going to come back, and sure enough, they did.
Yep.
I still think that Detroit, like, overall was more consistent teams in the NFL with the 49ers. So I really think that, and they getting Brian Johnson's returning, so everybody's coming back for business. They want a little bit more, and again, the corrections, maybe they would go get another receiver, maybe, but still overall they've been the more consistent team in the NFC. So I can definitely see them back here next year. What y'all think?
Well, first and foremost, before I get to that, we got to give kudos to the general manager of Detroit for this rookie class that he managed to bring in after flipping Matthew Stafford to the Rams. Mm-hmm. Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, and I forgot the other 2 guys. That they were all questioned. Sam Laporta as well. They were all questioned on draft day. They came in, they made a huge impact to get them to where they needed to get. Can Detroit get back? Yes, the road is probably going to be a little bit tougher, because now Green Bay is a little bit inspired, because they were just in the same situation as you were, probably a couple possessions away from beating San Fran.
And
they're more than likely going to re-sign Jared Goff. Jared Goff is probably going to get an extension more than likely. And even Dan Campbell told the team himself, and he was keeping 100 with him, we may not get back to this position. Like, this was our shot. We may not get back, but I'm riding with you guys. And that right there is in and enough for me to say that they can get back, but that road is going to be a tad bit tougher. Like, Green Bay is inspired now. Minnesota, again, they're probably going to get healthy. They may or may not have Kirk Cousins back. Who knows what Chicago is going to do? Like, the NFC is going to get a little bit tougher going forward, but can they get back? Absolutely.
Yeah, I think they can get back from the standpoint of, I'm pretty sure they'll continue to draft on the defensive side of the ball But that offensive line is really, really good and hella well coached. And I'm just a big believer that if you have a good offensive line and you can run the ball to the nature that Detroit does, you always got a chance. You always got a chance. So I wouldn't be shocked. But yeah, Trevor, I agree with Trevor that the road is going to be a little bit more tougher. And their schedule is going to be a little bit tougher too. I think what Savage or Through the Hardaway saying. That schedule is going to be a little bit tougher.
They get the first place this year. Yeah,
if you can run the football, bro,
you got
that's
a
lot.
To Ryan's point, when you're talking about the Titans, when you can run the football, you have a chance.
Salute to the Lions, salute to the 49ers, salute to my guy Christian McCaffrey in the Super Bowl now.
CMC.
Still ain't get a first round pick for him, but that's neither here or there. And hopefully, like I said, the Lions, man, be one of my favorite teams to watch. A lot of people's favorite team to watch. So it was good just to see them experience. I think this roster will probably go down and is one of the best in the history. Especially with them doing what they've done in the last 20 years. Like anybody on that roster, you eat free for the rest of your life type shit in Detroit, I believe. So salute to the Lions for a hell of a season. And hopefully next year the Pistons won't have to get sacrificed in order for the Lions to succeed. With that being said, we're going to get into a little hoops talk. But before then, we want to hear a word from our sponsor at SeatGeek.
SeatGeek is the ticket app that takes the confusion out of buying tickets. When you use our code LBR Media, you will get $20 off your first SeatGeek order. SeatGeek scores each ticket selection 0 to 10 to let you know if you're getting a good deal or a bad deal. Click the link in the description to download the app, and remember our code LBR Media for $20 off your first order. SeatGeek, your route to high quality ticket selection.
All right, gentlemen. So I'm pretty sure, and I hate to say this because whatever, but I'm pretty sure y'all know a lot more about the Tigers than I do at this point. Of course, U of M alum, gotta love my Tigers. Want them to be great. I heard we were top 10 a couple weeks ago, and then now we can't get a dub from what I'm seeing and hearing. So yeah, what the hell going on in Memphis, man? What's going on with our Tigers? I thought that I love the fact that Penny had his first top 10 team, and the Tigers have had our first top 10 team since forever, and now it don't seem like forever was yesterday.
I'm gonna try not to get in my feelings, bro. I'm gonna try not to get.
This ain't the first top 10 team Penny has had. Let's keep it a buck.
The
James Wiseman year, we came into the 10 in the year in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah.
And very similar to their year, it immediately blew up.
Exactly.
But what felt different about this team, this roster, this year was the team was more experienced. You had a collection of guys that, of course, I mean, I guess it's the same thing, but they had done this before, but in other programs or in other areas. And literally, at this point, you can call it a month and a half ago, they were waxing top 25, top 30 programs in the country at home and or on the road, right? So you had earned your way not only in the top 25, not only in the top 15, but in the top 10. And then you were winning, like once you came out of those games, you were winning games that you necessarily probably should have lost. But at the end of the day, a dub is a dub in college basketball. I say that all the time.
Yep.
But the team got hit with adversity. And I'm going to speak on something that I may not have all the information to. And this is outside of looking in. I feel like things started to go bad when I think they lost like maybe one or two. I think maybe they lost 2 in a row. And you started to hear and understand that Jordan Brown was coming back. And I put in our group me and I said, what you would have liked for Penny to have done is to shut that down, right? I don't know why Jordan Brown left the team. I don't. But because there's no context attached to that, then one can only assume or think that you quit on the team, right? Because, again, he doesn't owe us to put his business out there. But if it's a matter of, if it's a family situation, if it's a health situation, somebody speaks on that. Nobody spoke to the exact reason why he left. And thank you, Savage. He came back And in my opinion, Penny should have shut that down. But he didn't shut it down. He entertained it. Not only did he entertain it, but he brought it back to the team. So where nobody on the team is specifically saying, well, I don't want him back, or, we're welcoming him back with open arms. I'm picking up on body language, and I'm reading between the lines. And everybody has said, this is awkward. This is weird, right? He left the team for, I think, 8 to 10 games or something like that. And so now you want to come back? When technically Penny had already replaced him with Tomlin anyway. So where Penny is already continuously struggling or going back and forth with his lineups, which that is a whole different conversation, you can tell that the players are not playing with each other. The coaching staff are not coaching together. When I was at the game on Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday, Penny and Rick Stansberry are not even talking to each other, bro. Like they come into the huddle for a timeout. They aren't looking at each other. They aren't talking to each other. So where you can already see as a fan, the players aren't gelling and they aren't together. You can see that within the coaching staff as well, too, right? To the point that there's breaking news that the Tigers are bringing in Jermaine Johnson, who was on the team, I think, last year or the year before. Why is he joining the team in February? Why is he joining the team in February, bro? So this is where I'm going to always have Penny's back, and I still believe that he can coach. He has to do a better job of managing the talent that he is recruiting because he has not done that well this year. He did not do that. I think probably the best year that he did well was managing the team or managing the personalities within the team was last year. But the Wiseman year, the year after that, this year specifically, he continues to call out the players on the team for not doing X, Y, and Z. But you handpick these people, Penny. You're handpicking them, and you're going about building your team the way that you want to, which is fine. But at some point, you got to be able to manage that. And so not only do you need to be able to manage that from a personality perspective, but you have got to be able to manage who needs to be on the floor. And I will be damned if he started that game without Javon Cornelly, who is your best, and in my opinion, your only point guard. No, and I won't say he's the best player. I think David Jones is your best player. Now, granted, that man ain't passing the ball to nobody. I think David Jones is the best player on the team. But you don't start the game with your best and only point guard. That makes no sense to me. He's playing people in the first half that have no business playing in the game in the first half. He made 8 subs within the first TV timeout. 8 subs within the first TV timeout. That is insane. At this point, I low-key feel like the man is trolling, right? Because where he made hella subs in the first half, and he's not only done that within multiple games this season, but then he'll turn around in that second half and will cut down their rotation to 6 guys. I just be like, bro, what are we doing? And I understand, and I'll finish with this. I understand that he has to realize or understand that I got to figure out what guys play best together. But at this point, G, it's February. It's February. And I get it. You have to replace Caleb Mills. But at some point, Penny, you got to say, I'm going to roll with this 6 or 7 guys, and y'all got to figure that shit out. But they cannot figure it out. I cannot get into a rhythm as a basketball player when you're taking me out every 2 or 3 minutes. That's just me.
You know what, Skylar? I could not have said that better myself. I literally have nothing to add. You pretty much just touched on everything that is pretty much plaguing the Tigers right now. So, man, kudos to you, man. I got nothing because he's absolutely right. Everything that he just went over, he's absolutely right on
My
that.
bad, y'all. Michael's on. So Lito, you talked about it, and I'm pretty sure we got your answer, but I kind of wanted to sum it down, and for you, Trevor, as well. I'm looking at it with 4-4 in American Conference, 7th in the conference. So it's not even looking like we can be conference champions after, again, from just my eye of just being like checking in on the Tigers. Damn, we went from top 10 and not even being top 5 in our own conference. So in y'all's opinion, Lito, of course, starting with you, you already said it, but what would you like to see for the Tigers to do in order for us to be holding at least the conference championship? And then, Trevor, I want you to answer the same thing.
So it's right now where it doesn't look bad, like if we being real, biased or not biased, I still think they're a better team in the conference. I think they're better than FAU. I think they're better than Tulsa. I think they're better than Tulane. I think they're better than everybody that's ahead of them. So Penny has to get to a point, and I think I've said it, and people in the comments are saying it too. You got to find 8 guys and just roll with those 8 guys and let them figure their shit out. You roll with those 8 guys, and the other thing that I wish that he would do is stop pressing so much. He is pressing and trapping where I feel like, again, I'm not a coach, right? So I'm not going to tell the man what to do. But also, I keep seeing a lot of times in these games where players are getting beat backdoor to the basket, or they're trapping here, or there's miscommunication here, and things like that. And I'm just like, can we just play straight up man-to-man defense? Because you're better on paper, and probably even from a talent perspective, you're better than everybody that's in your conference. So where I'm not saying totally get away from that. I'm not saying don't throw zone in there, don't pressure here or there. Like, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I feel like he has good enough talent to where you could just say, guys, we're gonna play straight up, and then we'll see how the other team reacts from that. But because you're already saying the team is not playing well together, then why are you expecting them to communicate defensively when you're telling them to trap here, run a full press court here, trap this guy in the corner here? Like, I just feel like you don't need to do that because you are consistently getting beat that way. So just play straight up man-to-man defense. Throw some zones in here, throw some zones here and there. But then within those 6 to 8 guys, at least 6 of those guys, they need to be playing 30 minutes. Quinterly, Jones, Malcolm's not going to be able to give you that many. Jordan is really, really good. He could probably give you 20, 25. He's got to figure out that big man rotation a little bit better too. But Cornelius and Jones should be giving you 30, 32 minutes a game.
Yeah. Well, for me, to what everyone else is saying, Penny needs to shorten this rotation to 8 guys and just play them the entire way. Also, to what Skylar's point, I would definitely stop pressing because I saw that in the Austin P game because I went to that game and they went to their press and Austin P was actually able to beat that press. So, if I'm not mistaken, if I think it was the James Wiseman year, we were tops in the NCAA in opponent field goal percentage, and we played primarily man to man that season. So, what is the reason to go away from it? Like, just buy in, get a guy, do what you do on the defensive end, which we know that you can do, and you can mix it up a little bit, and things of that nature, and all of that. And yeah, to Savage's point here, I get it. You're trying to create turnovers and you're trying to get out in transition. I'm not gonna even get to a half court offense because I've been preaching that since Penny took over the team. But honestly, just shorten your rotation. And I agree with Skylar. I think this team is probably one of the better teams in the AAC. If anybody can run the table and win the AAC and get in the tournament, it's the Tigers. So really just shorten your rotation, play just a tad bit more man defense than zone and pressing things of that nature, and you should be fine, but we'll see.
And last thing, go
ahead.
I feel like they have the ability to have a half-court offense, right? Like if you go back and look at Jordan Brown's highlight tape before he got here, all post-ups. If you go back and look at Naquan Tomlin's, highlights before he got here, all post-ups. Ask me how many post-ups do I see per game from them combined? Probably like 4. So where you're struggling offensively and where David Jones ain't passing the ball, or where Javon Cornelius, he can't get his floater going or he's missing shots, you could throw the ball down to Brown, Dandridge, I feel like he's gotten a whole lot better in the post. Those 3 guys you can say, here's the ball, get on the block, and then everybody move. But because you aren't even putting your big man in the right spots to even succeed, he's got to say, like, let's figure out what worked in December and try to translate that in February and March. And he's totally gone away from how they ran their offense in December. It looks totally different.
Well, damn, it's February. And I'm gonna definitely start trying to tap into the Tigers more just to see, what happened. Because like I said, just from my eye, man, top 10 and just seeing L and L and L. And yeah, and I was actually looking at Jordan Brown's numbers.
When we were feeding Jalen Duren in the
Yeah.
post.
Like the guy, it got to a point where Jordan Brown, I was just looking, he was averaging 20 points a game at one point. Like not this year, but like a couple years ago. So it's like that's his game. Feed him. That's what we got him for, right? But no, I'm gonna definitely tap in more. Like I said, it's February. This is about the time I started watching college basketball anyway. But Tigers, I need y'all to pick it up, man. Just for the common supporter like myself, alum like myself, who just want to see y'all be great. Get y'all head out y'all asses. Exactly. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like y'all got your head in the ass. Get y'all head out y'all asses. All right. All right. So we go from there, but of course we do, and I'm happy we kind of saved the flower segment for right now. The NBA All-Star Games reserves were announced. If you've been sleeping under a rock, I'm not going to name it right now, but just look them up. But there are, of course, a few first timers in this thing. We got Tyrese Maxey having a hell of a season with the Sixers. Jalen Brunson also having a hell of a season. I think should be starting in a way.
Should have been a starter.
Should have been a starter. Yeah. And of course, Orlando Magic, Paolo Banchero, who, got the experience and the knowledge to take his career to the better game over the summer. And now he's just doing his thing. But gentlemen, I want to ask y'all, who got snubbed for being an All-Star this year?
Sheesh. Honest and truthfully, I think they got it right.
Really?
I honestly do not think there were no snubs in his All-Star game at all. I think the right people got in that should have gotten in. I think the debate is probably who should be starting as opposed to who got in and who didn't get in. I think that's more of the debate this year because we just mentioned, I feel Jalen Brunson should be starting over Dame. Not saying that Dame shouldn't be an all-star. I just think he shouldn't be starting. Me personally, and I know this is going to trigger too, I think Kawhi should be starting over KD. Not saying KD shouldn't be in the all-star game. I'm just saying.
Hell no. You knew that was going to piss me off.
I knew it was. That's what I said. I said what I said for a reason. I felt Kawhi should have got the nod, but hey, it is what it is.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't really see anybody that got snubbed. I think Ryan just mentioned it in the comments. Maybe De'Aaron Fox. You could probably make a case for him over Steph. But yeah, I think honestly they got it right.
Lito, what you think?
I'll agree with I'll agree with that because if you're going to say somebody got snubbed, then you also have to ask within that same question, who are they going to replace? And if you sit there and look at, I hope that's not surprising to him for asking that. So like if you're going to say, X player should be in over this player, X person should be in the All-Star game or should be an All-Star reserve, then who is he going to replace? So I think the biggest one for me is Fox. But I will say, and I don't know off the top of my head, but this is only because there are injuries on the eastern side of the Eastern Conference with Embiid and things like that. But I would like to see Kobe White get in. I think Kobe White has balled a lot for Chicago. And granted,
oh my God. You opening the floodgates here, bro.
But that's only because there's so many injuries, right? Like I think he should be playing. Because he's having a career year, is he not?
He's having an outstanding year.
He has an outstanding year, but
most improved player of the year candidate for sure. I'm not finna disrespect.
100%.
He don't want me some money this year, so I'm not finna disrespect. All-Star, not yet, there, buddy. Not yet.
Okay.
And you know what the funny thing is? He would probably get the nod just because there are so many injuries.
I mean, you gotta look at
that's all I'm saying.
You gotta look at Eric White as well in Boston.
And Trae Young as well.
Trae Young, but he should have been in from the jump. That's kind of who I'm saying.
Y'all
that's 27 and 11.
I understand you can't ignore 27 and 11, but if it ain't the most emptiest calories in the history of history, it is what it is. Like that shit ain't translating to wins, bro. That's and they about to blow it up. So I see, but nah, not Trae Young.
I mean, they top 10, top 9 in the East. I mean, so I get it, but nah, man, Trae 27. He gonna get one of the reserves because somebody injured, and I'll be happy then. But I think he should have been.
He's gonna be the one that they call because Joel Embiid is.
But I'm definitely with De'Aaron Fox. I definitely thought he would have been in. If you're talking to somebody who I would have taken off, I probably would have taken off either Karl Anthony Towns or Paul George. I love watching the Clippers play, but I kind of can't believe they got 2 All-Stars because they started off their season so poorly. And I know it. I mean, it's the All-Star game. Ain't no way in hell LeBron and AD not gonna be there. So let's
right.
That up. Right. That was a given.
Like that's a given.
Braun starting, so you knew that was happening. And then AD.
But for the, like I said, for the Kings as top 5 and not to get 1, and the Clippers just started. Granted, again, I love watching them play, but just started playing good basketball. You know, no hate on Paul George, even like I said, Cat, who I think if you would have put a center from in the All-Star game, I think Rudy Gobert would have got my nod over Cat. To be honest with you. He's having a great season this year. Like, granted, the 5, 6, 7, 8, first rounders that they traded for him, it's kind of making it look like it's there now. Took I see you on this topic tomorrow. Yeah, you will. And I will be there live. I'll be there early. But I put Rudy Gobert over Cat if I would have a vote.
I would rather see Wemby in over those two.
We're doing another big man. Yeah. Took you ain't slick. But I'm
as far as what
you ain't, because you saying what you shouldn't have been saying. Because if Fox was supposed to get in, he should have got in over Steph. You know it, I know it.
No, Steph should have been starring. No, this is the All-Star game. Voting matters, and we're not finna sit with it. I had to watch that last year. I'm not finna sit and say he's not an All-Star. Period. Now cut that out. And then you already said that Kawhi should have been starting over KD.
Yes.
You on a mission to piss me off this spot, and I don't appreciate that because you're supposed to be my brother. You on a mission, and we finna end that shit right now. Abort mission, goddammit. No, chill.
Anyway, I said abort mission. That's crazy.
You still my brother. I love you, but hey, that's part of a sibling rivalry. Come on now, it is what it is. I honestly, truthfully, I would, if anybody. I think Fox should have got in over Steph, but it is what it is.
Agree.
The more I think about it, I really want. I'm gonna say the more I think about it, I really want Victor Wembanyama in there. I really do.
One can say Chet's having a better season than him, but that's debatable. If you want to have a Ricky in him, but shout out to Chet. But and again, we're giving shout outs again. I'm not sure if we care. I kind of want to figure out if y'all do, because we do at the same time respect women's sports on this thing. Steph Curry, Sabrina, Ionescu from the Liberty, they'll be headlined in the 3-point challenge. I don't know if I guess they're gonna have their one-off just like Kevin Hart and Draymond Green did theirs a few years ago. I believe it's gonna be a one-off, and then they're gonna have the 3-point competition as well. But fellas, what are our thoughts on having the NBA finally supporting the WNBA and having one of the better shooters, if not the best shooter in the WNBA, go against the best shooter in the NBA in the All-Star game weekend?
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it, bro. I'm going to. That may be the biggest thing that I look forward to during All-Star weekend is seeing 2 of the better shooters I've probably ever seen in my life. And I low-key wouldn't. Okay, I shouldn't say that because she's not in the pros yet. But I'm definitely looking forward to Sabrina Ionescu is probably literally hands down one of the better shooters that I've ever seen. Steph Curry, hands down, the man is gonna be able to shoot when he turns 90 years old. He's probably still be able to shoot threes. So whoever came up with this idea, whoever pushed it, and then for them, whoever's also going to execute it as well, big props to them. And I actually cannot wait to see it. And I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if Ionescu won. I wouldn't be shocked.
I don't think none of us would.
Interesting. I would.
I'm intrigued as well, man. I mean, you gotta do something to beef up All-Star Weekend because it's been on the downcline for at least 10 years now. So the 3-point shootout has been the event of the weekend for that festivities on Saturday. So I'm interested. Of course, I'm a tad bit more interested in the Rising Stars game as I always am. But yeah, you got me glued. I'm watching. And to Skylar's point, I will not be surprised if Sabrina Ionescu won this.
I would be surprised because there is talk of Steph Curry being the best shooter in the world. That's man, female, child, whatever. If you are, you better not lose to Sabrina Ionescu. I don't know, and this ain't me being this ain't nut. If Steph Curry going against anybody, really, in a one-on-one shooting contest, if you're the best shooter in the world, you better not lose to anybody.
Fair.
So yes, I will be surprised. But
my question is, how level will the playing field be? So
they'll be shooting from the NBA line. They're both, to my understanding.
Okay, because
I think I saw that.
The NBA line is a little bit short. Not saying Sabrina Ionescu doesn't have NBA range. I'm just saying, like, I just want to make sure.
She wants the smoke. That's her idea.
All right, she wants the smoke. It needs to be 100% even playing field. And
are they playing the same balls?
Like I said, wouldn't be surprised if she won. I just want to make sure the playing field is even.
Are they playing with the same basketball?
I was just about to ask. That was my next question. Are they shooting with the NBA basketball?
I believe she's using the women's basketball.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
Regardless, Steph Curry better wipe the floor with her. He better not miss a goddamn shot. Best shooter. They already disrespecting you, not having you as a starter, Steph. You been like this better not be the disrespect of Steph Curry weekend. Bro.
Who are the guards I West starting? Is it Shea and who else?
Shea and Luka.
Blame the NBA for making Luka a guard. I tried to
tell
you.
I'm go see what the
I'm not gonna. No, it's Luka and stuff, man. It's just I rock with the
Warriors. With the year Shea's having, no.
I mean, I love me some Shea. Hey, cool, but
not with the year Shea's having and them being damn near tops in the West.
Right,
nah, you can't do that.
Man. But at the same time, me being salty because I remember specifically 2 years ago on this podcast, on this very own podcast, where I said that the 3-point competition will be more of a highlight than a dunk contest for the fact of I would rather watch the 3-point competition after the dunk contest. And I was laughed at. I was laughed at. So now to hear what y'all guys, it sounds like y'all would rather watch Sabrina and Steph 3-point contest after the dunk contest. That's what it sounded like to me.
I did not laugh at you at that.
Everybody laughed.
I actually agree with you.
I remember.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, I thought it was a nice take. The world changing. I thought it was a nice take.
Yeah, because with Steph and Clay doing the things that they've done, and then with the dunk contest dying because of LeBron James,
no, we're not finna burn on that. No.
I am blaming on LeBron because he had a chance to actually do it and save it, but he didn't do it because he knew he would lose. So that's that on that.
How's it saving it? If I'm going into a situation I know I'm gonna lose, I'd rather not do it.
Just hell, Kobe got one and he won one with the worst possible slam dunk field possible. You could have found a year you could have snuck in and stole one, and I think he would have gotten it if he had just done it.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that all on. I won't put that all on Bron because it's other dunkers or it's other people in the league that we want to see in the dunk contest that ain't doing it right. Like that ain't all on Bron.
Well, he's the catalyst for it and kind of started it. So I mean, it is what it is.
At this point, we just want to see Ja Morant healthy, but that's neither here and there.
Same here.
We love you, Ja. We love you, man. Get well soon, my guy. Come and tear it up next season. But for this season, again, bringing up the All-Star Weekend, are we looking forward to the All-Star Weekend? What events y'all looking forward to the most? Trev, you brought up the Rising Stars.
I'm always looking forward to the Rising Stars, and I like the new format that they did. It was a little bit more pickup style. I also like that they've incorporated the G League into this as well. Some of y'all favorite superstars, some of y'all favorite stars now in the league nowadays got the coming out party at this very game. Jamal Murray is one because I watched him in his rookie season, the Rising Stars game, and I told people look out for Jamal Murray. You see where he is now.
Still can't be an all-star. Damn.
The West is just that stacked. It's just that simple. So Yeah, the Rising Stars game gets it for me. Just want to see what these rookies, sophomores, and these G Leaguers are doing. And to this point right here, last year's dunk contest winner is going to be playing in the Rising Stars game, repping the G League, which is crazy. So, but big shout outs to Mac McClung there. But yeah, the Rising Stars game for me.
You already know my answer. Mine is the 3-point shooting contest between Sabrina and Steph. That's the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to. I'm a big fan of Steph, big fan of Sabrina Ionescu, so I just want to see them go at it.
I like it. All right. If y'all don't have anything else to say, we'll get into a troll and all. I told you I thought about one, so if y'all got one as well, cool. So my troll and all, I feel like this was round one for the Ravens and the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. I think when you look at the Ravens and what they've had to overcome, especially Lamar Jackson, excuse me, he's going to look at this season as a kind of wasted opportunity, but they're going to learn from it. They're going to grow from it. What do y'all think?
You're saying that this troll and all, that this was probably the
round one. So round two, we'll be seeing round
one of seeing Ravens and Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because I think Joe Burrow still got something to say about that.
Joe Burrow still got something to say.
Depending on how things go, for the Chargers and Harborough, because I still believe in Herbert. I don't know. I would say it's a troll for the simple fact that I think you still got to worry about Joe Burrow, and then I still think that some form of passion, depending on if Stephon Diggs still stays there. Josh Allen,
Bills are done. I'm done with
that. That's about that. Yeah, it's about to get a little bit more difficult in Buffalo. I think Josh Allen's money kicks in. You don't know what's going to happen with Stephon Diggs.
Come on to Carolina, Stephon. We got you.
Look now.
Come on over.
We don't know if he's gonna stick around. It's gonna be tough for them to maneuver to like make some moves and things of that nature. So, but they could still be right there. But yeah, I'm gonna say troll because to Skyler's point, you still got to worry about Joe Burrow. We'll see what happens in LA with the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh is there. Yeah, it's still some wild cards there. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go troll just for right now.
Mm-hmm. And then you always got to worry about that one team that nobody expected to randomly make an AFC Championship game.
Facts.
And so another team to keep an eye on. I know it's hella early. But damn, CJ Stroud and the Texans looked really good, especially under D'Amico Ryans.
That'd be nice.
So like, no, look for real. No, for real. As a Steelers fan,
Houston is legit. Houston is legit.
Yeah. So if they can continue to improve their defense and that secondary, which they're already pretty decent at anyway, but if they can add some more pieces to the offensive line, to that front seven on the defense, I think they could definitely have a case too.
I think they could use another weapon or two for CJ.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. What do y'all got? Anything?
I don't have a troll now, but I want to give flowers to Juju Watkins for putting up 50 last night. Like that's
cool.
Yes. Sheesh, 50 is insane. Yeah. So no, I just want to give her those flowers. I saw that this morning, so I think she's worthy of a round of applause on the show.
Absolutely,
100%. 100%. Absolutely. I have nothing this week, but stay tuned.
Cool. I guess I give a flowers to my Panthers for trying to get the fan base back involved with hiring Dan Morgan, who I just remembered got the most tackles in the Super Bowl, so he'll be in our GM. And Dan Canales from the Bucks, the Buccaneers, he'll be coming over as well. So I mean, I want to be excited for my Panthers, but at the same time, I just need to see some. I just need to see it. So I just want to give my flowers to those guys who will be heading my Carolina Panthers and going into an offseason with having a worse record and not having the number one pick. I mean, it is what it is.
At least y'all trying to be serious. Cause we don't have time today because I was about
to say next week. The troll of the month award goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers for sure.
Facts. I didn't want to do it, but Skyler, go ahead. If you want to take it, I'll take it next week. It don't even matter
I'm trying not to get in my feelings today, bro. And y'all bringing up the Tigers and y'all bringing up the Steelers is going to make me get in my feelings. I'm just going to say the troll of the month thus far is the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's all I got to say.
I'm going off on it next week. I'll go off on it next week.
Next week, I'm gonna hold you to it, bro. I'm gonna hold you to it. Man, appreciate y'all for tapping in with us, man. Real quick, real get it done, man. Y'all have a great, happy Saturday. Shout out to Ryan, of course, checking in. Can't wait to have you your pod going on the network. Speaking of other pods, 3 the Hardaway, make sure you tap in with us. Apparently, me and Savage are gonna go at it tomorrow about a couple things, which I'm here and able and ready for. So again, shout out to 3 the Hardaway. Shout out to the Jeans Report, my guy. Shout out to LBR Gaming. Speaking of Savage, I ain't talking to you really until you hop in the wreck with me and Trevor at this point. The LBR Gaming at Simply Trevor on YouTube. We got a few follows away on YouTube from 200. Help us get there. Tell your homies, tell your girls, tell whoever about us, and help us go from there. You know what I'm saying? And of course, it's February 12th. February 12th.
Let's get it.
I like it. February 12th, Ryan Harris will be bringing his podcast to the network. We're super excited. Big follower for the pod for a minute now. So he, of course, will be joining his network, and we'll be able to antagonize him through the comments as well. And I can't wait. And speaking of that, we do have another pod that may or may not be on the way. So I'm gonna just hush.
We working. Just know we working.
And there we go. We going, man. The network going. So again, appreciate y'all rocking with us. Make sure you follow the gang at LBR_media on Twix. Follow yours truly everywhere with the social media outside of Threads at Tev Shakir.
I'm at the Art of Trevor on Twix. Simply Trevor LBR everywhere else except Threads.
You can catch me swag surfing on X, at _ Scott.
Good, we ain't gonna see you on Instagram.
You catch me swag surfing on
I may release that video of you. I actually got a video of you swag surfing. Oh shit.
Me swag surfing? Hold on.
It might be maybe both of us in this. It may be.
Hold the absolute hell on. I know damn well you ain't got no video of me swag surfing.
I got the video. Videos.
Before you hit upload.
It was at a Steph show.
Upload and you don't run that shit. If you're not hearing me, bro. If you hit upload and you don't run that shit by me, bro, that is the end of our friendship. I need to see that. And that's
we'd have been through a lot too. I don't even.
There's no way you
I think about it. I actually think I do have it.
There's no way. There is no way you do. Because we about to. February 3rd, 2024 is going to be probably the last day me and Took are friends because I feel like he's going to post the shit and not tell me.
Oh, man. I feel like the people kind of want to know, and I kind of know exactly where to look. Give me hold on. Wait.
Hey, I'll block you right now. I will block you right now if you post that.
Oh, man. I wonder if I can find it, man. I had to find it, man. But I appreciate y'all for rocking it. Appreciate it. If y'all follow us, follow LBR Media. I'm going to definitely post it. If I can find it, goodness gracious, I'm kind of upset with myself. But now I try to.
Trevor, you see what he has yet to say? He has yet to say, "I'm gonna send it to Scott."
I'm gonna run it by you first. Yeah,
that's crazy. I'm gonna block that shit. That's it. I'm gonna block that shit. That's crazy, bro. Friends for a long time, bro. And that mind ain't gonna even run it by me.
Nah, not at all, bro. I love you too much to.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I appreciate y'all, man.
Y'all be easy.
Y'all be easy.